Beautiful beings of the universe, welcome to now. I'll start this video with this awesome red colored Tibetan singing bowl for the good aura, for the good energy, and with this awesome incense, which I often light for the purification of your environment. So it's very essential that you keep your environment clean. And how you place your stuffs, every single thing matters. Because as you keep the right stuff at the right place where it actually belongs, you're going to find a lot of, it's like a Zen practice, I should say. But anyway, I'll talk about that in another video. In this video, I wanted to talk about two things. One is, when is the right time to act? And when is the right time to restrain, to come back, to stop? Because one of the Zen masters said, I think it's Dzogchen, and because I'm studying a lot of Zen masters very deeply, I'm digging their stuffs very much because it's not about you just sounding woo-woo and spiritual, but because you want to implement those things in your very life. These masters did not just leave things because somebody else should follow. In fact, they never cared about who is actually following them. They were living in the mountains, in remote, coldest of the coldest mountains where nobody tries to go because it's so difficult to live there. But even in that, they gave the wisdom and they did not keep it only to themselves because they felt that maybe I should impart that knowledge for the rest of the people so they can have a more peaceful way of living. So, Dzogchen talks about this. When to act and when to restrain. To know when you are supposed to act is to listen to your own inner calling. And to know when to stop is also essential, which you get to know through awareness. So you might be on the run and constantly chasing stuffs and things. And you might feel that, oh, I've been trying to get there, but I'm not, somehow things are just not working for me. You're facing a lot of setbacks. You're facing a lot of difficult situations. You're facing a lot of, and what is situation? It's people, right? The most difficult thing in this world is to handle people. Because they try to come in your way. They try to disrespect you subtle ways, in the most subtle forms, or maybe by making a joke on you, or laughing at you, or, just barbarically coughing around you. You see all those dumb acts? And I want you to know where is the root of all of this coming from. This all comes from jealousy. This all comes from insecurity. People who have got no why, people who have got no creativity, people who have got no passion in the first place. So they naturally get so jay of you. They get so fucking jealous just because they watch you. How could you be so yourself? How could you be so you? How could you be so intelligent, creative, beautiful, sexy, genius, intelligent, bold, and independent? So that's why jealousy gets them to laugh at you, to mock at you, because they think that they could just somehow sneak around your boundary. But well, that's quite interesting because you just watch these fools play out. And you watch and act for your turn to act when the time is right. So this is about the action, when to act. You did not just abruptly react to a situation because that's what the enemy wants from you. While you are driving or you're walking on the street, you might find weirdos and people who just laugh at you for no reason. But most of the time, it's not no reason, it's jealousy that gets them. Jealousy is the root cause of all of the evil. And I want you to understand, where does this jealousy come from? They are jealous because they see that you have got something what they do not have. And they want it so bad. And because they do not have that, they want to project it in a way that, oh, that's too funny. That's not what I want. as if you do not understand the games people play, as if you do not understand the intention behind people's act. So, Dzogchen is talking about when to act and when to stop from acting. When you have been trying to struggle too hard and just getting on it, thinking like, I have to make it happen, but somehow things have been failing, then probably you just need to relax because there is a time to act and not act. And I've been also reading this great, beautiful book of Chinese wisdom. I'm truly digging all of these because the way the Zen masters of Chinese and Japanese masters, they have told every single word in their wisdom of Lao Tzu or Dzogchen or I Ching is, I should say, more precious than golds and diamonds, because that truly protects you and saves you, and that is your power of dharma. That's why I have this green Tara goddess and this beautiful Tibetan singing bowl. So in this book, I Ching, Walking Your Path and Creating Your Future, it's a game of hexagrams. So hexagram is basically 6 lines, like you can see in this photo. So the first one is hexagram 1, which is 6 solid lines, you can see. So it's a mix of solid and broken lines, but in hexagram 1, it's 6 solid lines that talks about the creative force. So everybody has access to this creative energy, and you want to create something. So this oracle, whenever you are trying to use this hexagram in order to get a solution of your problem, or let's say you're in a situation, should I start that business or not? Should I live in this country, or should I think of moving, or like, if you want to relocate, or if you're thinking on starting a family, or if you're thinking on having a second or a third child, any sort of a decision that you need to make, any sort of a decision. Should I continue this relationship, or should I move out? Should I make that investment, or should I do something else? Whatever is your decision. So this thing of I Ching helps you do that. So when you draw the hexagram 1 is the creative force, and it talks about this. Creative force from the source, creating success. Constancy bears fruit. So line 1 talks about dragon underwater. That means don't act. So you see these 6 solid lines, and I'll go into detail the meaning of each of these lines. So the first line is dragon underwater, don't act. So it means during the winter, the Chinese dragon sleeps at the bottom of a mountain lake until the dragon wakes up in spring and flies out over the fields, bringing rain. There can be no useful action. So if you're in the midst of making a decision and you want to start something new, don't just rush in, but just slow down a bit and see when the time is right. And when the time is right, you sow the seed and then the plant grows. The second line talks about see the dragon in the fields, fruitful to see great people. So you might not immediately be finding the right sort of people, but it's essential that you start seeing the people who would be useful in your journey later. Line 3 talks about noble one creates and creates to the end of the day. At nightfall, on the alert, as if in danger, no mistake. So this is a time of incessant creative activity, accelerated personal change, or just sheer, unrelenting hard work. The creative force never rests. So when you are driven by it, neither do you. So that means while you have actually found that zone of flow, you go all in. You go in on with full attack. There's no stopping you. There's no time for you to think, because there was a time to think. There was a time when you had to slow down, and you did. You took your time. It's not about just running, right? It's about right action at the right time. You see too many people who are busy just running around like monkeys. That's dumbness. People confuse their busyness with them being creative. That's not true. You might be running around, but if your purpose is not designed, if you have not truly crafted your goal, you're just getting nowhere. So be watchful on that. Line number 4, it talks about someone dancing in the abyss. No mistake. This is a mysterious, fluid moment. Someone could be dancing in the abyss. Will the dragon take flight? For now, there is the dance along the border between just enough and not quite there, stretching your wings and playing with vast possibilities. There's no shortage of creative drive and imagination, but it's not clear what will prove attainable. Whatever the outcome, the dance is the key part of the process of creation and no mistake. So sometimes you might find yourself with a burst of energy and you just want to dance, and you do. You dance and you dance and you dance and you sing because that's what your energy calls you out for. And you don't know where it will take you, and you don't do this for any profit. You don't do this for any end goal. See, this book of I Ching is not just about getting stuffs. All of these wisdom comes from enlightened masters. And if you truly look at the life of the enlightened saints and masters, they have lived in the most simple ways of life. They have eaten the most simple meals, lived most simply, because simplicity has got a lot of virtue. But then they still paved the way for others. So if you're a materialist and you want to achieve things, they did lay out these oracle cards for you. So it's about dance. When the creative force calls you to, you just dance. There's no logic. You don't think about it. You just heed the call. Line number 5. This talks about dragon flying in heaven. Fruitful to see great people. The dragon is in full light, creative force released into full expression. Clouds follow him and the crops will grow. It is the right time and the place to act. Now the whole creative force is available. It's all the more important to see great people, whether with inner or outer vision, to lend direction to the power available, and to realize it on the ground in real human ways. So, when you finally do get to meet your vibe tribe, people who you actually want to work with, the genius minds, the beautiful, intellectual, creative, powerful beings, not the cowards. Cowards, their work is to laugh at you and copy you, being copycats. That's for the cowards. For the dumbasses, I'm talking about the genius, the creative ones, those who are the real creators. Those people are out there wanting to work with you. If you just gather the courage and go up to them, and then there's an alliance for what you could create. And your goal should be to reach up to their level. See where I'm getting at? The line number 6 is about overweening dragons has regrets. There comes a time when even dragons need to recognize the limits and fly a little lower. This one is too confident and too loud, soaring onward and upward as if he need never come down. He neglects to pay attention to what supports his flight and sends out all the wrong messages. The consequences will be regrettable. So at this point, all lines go changing, and you see a flock of dragons with no leader. That's a good fortune. So, what this I Ching talks about, with every line changing, the totality of creative drive opens out into all the fields of possibility. All the dragons are in flight. There's no need to take the lead to guide this to a successful conclusion. You need only allow the whole creative force to come through, where there is space for the best outcome to grow by itself. very much a Zen thing. And all of the hexagrams, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 into 8, 64. This is an awesome book. I would definitely recommend you to buy this. I Ching, Walking Your Path, Creating Your Future by Hilary Barrett. And you can see this diagram, all of the 64 combinations of the hexagrams have been drawn. If we could understand this, we could understand the nature of existence. Why even the people. So what are people, right? People are nature. So you consider yourself as this body, and so does the other person on the street considers himself as a body. And everybody, but deep down we know that this is a tool for us to manifest our things that we do. Because your body is just a aggregation of the bones, blood, cells, and aggregation of all of that. If I take out some, for example, there is some person who doesn't have a leg. They don't mean to say I'm not there. They still say I'm there. Then you sometimes you see a warrior who lost his 2 hands and 2 legs in the war, in the battle, but he's still there. So he doesn't say that he's not there, but he lost his arms and legs in the war while he was fighting that war. So that clearly means that your 2 hands and your 2 legs are not you. And same way your body, you say my eye. There's somebody who's born blind and who has never seen the world. He doesn't say I'm not there. He still says I'm there. So that means you're not this body. But there's something inside of you which uses this body in order to act, to move, to create. Because let's say if you were just in your home all day, just because you felt that maybe I could finish some household work, or I've got this cleaning to do. That takes me time. Entire cleaning of the house and arranging my cupboards, arranging my kitchen, arranging my bookshelves, everything that takes a lot of time. So you give yourself all that time and then you rest. But then there's something in you that tells you that no, you want to move out. You want to be in the open fields under open sky. You want to be in front of an ocean. You want to be near Bondi Beach because there's so much beauty in that. Water is so beautiful from far. And even if you know swimming, but if you go too far, you might drown. Even though the ocean is so inviting and she's so lucrative, she calls you. And even if you are greatest of the greatest swimmers, they also drown at times. So because something is beautiful, she calls you, but something that is beautiful is also dangerous. Like the fury of nature. You are sitting in your home and you watch a beautiful rain and a lot of lightning and that striking and that magnificence of that nature, the wild raw beauty, that bold wild power. But for somebody who's outside in the open, they fear getting struck by lightning. But you can appreciate and enjoy that lightning sitting at your home and watching that. So why is it that something that is very beautiful is also very fearful? Beauty has always been feared. Creativity, intelligence has always been feared by the fools who do not know how to understand it. And all they can do is just get jealous of that. Though deep inside them, they are in complete appreciation of that beauty, of that intelligence, but they also want to stop that from coming into fruition. When Edison was trying to make electric bulbs and lights, so he had failed so many times, more than 10,000 times his experiments failed. And when he claimed that, everybody in the world made fun of him. because they somehow didn't believe that. Although they do know that this, if he could make this advancement in science, that is going to change the life of everybody on the planet. So this is a great need. And you come to a discovery not because you want to be famous. You look at the life of all of these great scientists, musicians, genius, talented ones, they all had to suffer. But they chose their suffering. They did not choose to bend down like cowards and, mock at somebody else or gossip about them. That's for the dumb masses. The creative ones, the genius ones, they are on a different journey. They are inwardly turned, and they see to what I can do, what best I can do. How can I utilize my life in a way that seems more correct, aligned to me? So a lot of people would just laugh at him, and that is the job of society, to mock at you every time you are showing up as who you are. Because you live in a world where rules are not created for yes, rules are created for no, don't do this, don't do that, don't drive on this side, don't act like that, don't do this, because all of that comes from a place of fear. Society, government, institutions, they all want to control you. And the fear is so rigid that that fear has seeped down into the masses. Now, you need not need a government body or a strong institutional set of people like cops to follow you. But that fear rather has seeped in so deep that your normal neighborhood, they seem to act like watching you all the time and policing over you and making fun of you and controlling you to you, which is uncontrollable. You're the unstoppable force of nature. And that's why they are fucking terrified of. They are also in awestruck love and madness with you, but they want to hide it in the name of, oh, I don't care, or just dismiss it, can it, or laugh about it, or make just somehow fun of it. That's what the culture has taught you, to be a coward. And that's why these people raise coward families. And that's the growth of a sick society. But in all these moments of challenge is exactly when the beast within you comes out. So you were tamed and told and raised like a child that you should always follow the rules. Be a good son, be a good daughter to a family. Be a good student in school. Watch this. All of this good, every time you have received this award of good, is only while you have lost your soul. While you are a slave to a set of rules, to a set of commands. What is a child doing in school? Learning perfect slavery. After an hour, the bell rings, buzzer goes, and then they are supposed to act in frames. This is the subject now. This is the subject now. At this time, you've got to eat your lunch. Why? Why can't a child be hungry before that? No, but if you do that, you are punished for that. And the same set of rules is put on you while you grow up. So even in office, if you're supposed to follow a set of rules, you're supposed to act like them. Hey, how are you? Good morning. Act in most pretentious ways while scheming at the same time about your coworker, while scheming plots against you. But they be still talking nicely to you. How was your weekend? How was stuffs? As if they care. All their caring and agenda is only to know about you and have a wrong conception about you and make fun of you. And call you, oh, you're the joker. You're the joker. If you're real one, if you're the real king, the real dragon out there, the real tiger, the lion king, they're going to act like you are such a funny person. Ha ha ha, it's so funny. The real reason why you do act funny is because you are a message. You're a mirror to the society. You're a shapeshifter. You know when to act like what. You know when to act dumb because you see people around you are dumb. So you just want to toy them. You just want to play with them. So you act dumb like them so that they could be happy. Because you see, their happiness comes as long as you play small. But you don't do it to keep them happy. You do it just because you're a giver. You do it because you're just a beautiful soul. You're too beautiful for this ugly fucking world. Have you ever seen how come all the ugly old people they just want to come around you and act like I'm so energetic and I've got this and that just because they're trying to steal your energy. They want to show, oh no, I've got youth just like you. They're not. They wasted their youth, they wasted their old age trying to be a mean ass, trying to be a coward, trying to live by the rules. And when they see someone like you, a chosen one, they want to show like I've got it all. I'm strong. I'm intelligent too like you. I'm beautiful like you. They're nothing, none of that. And the only time they get courage is to put you down. They've got no soul. They have lived their entire lives fooling themselves. Now, when I see such people, I just have a good laugh at them. So much of a mess just to run around, run from yourself, from who you are, running from your own truth, and putting your lies on some other chosen one doesn't work. All the people who steal from you, your energy, your vibe, and throw up their darkness and negative spells on you, joke is on them. Their life is already a joke. And life tests you back just the way how you give it. So while they be trying to steal from you, guess what? All that excess stealing is in turn going to choke them. Because you do not have the true source of creativity. You do not have the true source of energy. You do not have the true source of courage, of beauty, of having the courage to tell the truth. Every person I see around is a coward. Everybody. And see, society is going to clap a lot for you and say, wow, you are successful. Here you go, take this and build this and that and you deserve it. Just because they got stuffs doesn't make you the one. You're not the one. The real one might be somebody among you who you don't even notice. He might be the most simple person. Not because he's a fool, but because he truly knows. Not because he's a coward, but he has become silent because he sees the pointlessness of speaking at all. And you might consider he's unimportant, though he might know all of the mysteries of the universe. And when death arrives, he's not scared. And he's not running around you and getting mad like all these fake courage, all this fake lying confidence that you see in people, how they talk about move, all these cowards. You'll notice this. The more a coward person is, the more loud they want to appear in public because they're completely trying to hide the fact of who they are. Their intention is always on how could I take from someone else? How could I steal that? How could I be one-upping you? How could I arrive before you? Like, bitch, you'd have none of the business doing that. Stay at home and do your work, whatever you are doing, or just go to work. Sit in your desk and get that damn work going. Go to office if that's where you find peace. About me, I love working from home. The farther I am from social crowds, it's so awesome for me because people are so fucking energy draining vampires, for real. So ugly. They just come around to leech onto your energy. So chosen. It's important that you protect your energy. The way they talk, the way they move, the way their way of life is so dead. And I don't know what are these people dying for. All they know is to hoard, to have more, to eat more, to get more, to make more people looters. And that's why you see they're also dead. I find more peace in a graveyard. Other day I went to a graveyard and there was so much peace. At least when you are dead, you are dead. But what about these people who are alive, living as zombies? They are they are dead already. Sit in the grave to find peace. I was watching an awesome video of Machiavelli, the great Italian philosopher come genius. And he talks about this. People want to throw up their hate and negativity and disrespect you. The first step is you do not have to straightforward respond. Like, don't just confront, what did you say? Or what did you mean? Did you try to put me down? No. Just be quiet, just be silence. Silent. Silence is the answer to a lot of drama and BS. And if the coworker tries to make fun of you publicly again, then you just stare them straight in the eye and just move on. That stare in the eye itself is killing. It's already a sign that you don't be that bullshit coworker anymore, or don't deal with me again. And the best way many times is not to fight that person, but rather to be out of that situation where you do not have to deal with those toxic, negative people anymore. So every time the answer is not in fighting, you do not have to just give them 2 punches or 4 punches because they were talking too much. Though there is a time for that. Sometimes you have to do that. But other times, your silence is the best answer. So knowing when to choose what. This is essential. Like chaos. All these people, the society brings chaos because they live in chaos. And know that chaos is not your enemy. So you've got to live in this world like a lotus in the mud. Without mud, there could be no lotus. So don't get too friendly with mud, but stay over it. When the rain comes and the mud has risen its level, you as a lotus, you must rise higher than the mud. And know that you're not doing this because you say, I'm the doer. This is happening. This happens because this is your nature. This is your character. Like how the mud's character is to be a mud, you being the lotus, you're like, look at this beautiful crystal lotus that I have. Crystal lotus flower. I love this. I always keep this in front of my Buddha. So the nature of the lotus is to always grow over the mud. You're not telling the society to not be them. You let them be. You let the snake be a snake. You let the mud stay a mud. But your job is to be the lotus that you are. And many times society will try and bring you down at their level and say, no, how dare you be a lotus? You're a mud like us. And in fact, even for this statement to come, you need some honesty. People are not honest. So they being mud, they would call themselves as lotus, and you being the lotus, they would call you as you are the mud. You don't even see this much honesty in the society of people calling themselves for what they are. So this is the copy mechanism of the light. So all these dark energy vampires, they watch you and they copy you, and they think that maybe by copying like you, I could be you. But you see in their act, in their day-to-day living, in how they show up in the external world, All of that was just a pretense. That is not real. People will act like I have empathy for you, I care for you, while they mean none of that. They might copy the softness of your tone, they might copy like wearing like you, they might try and copy and be humble like you. But when the real check of a person is, don't see how they treat you in person. A snake would want, who is interested in taking favors from you, would try and be very nice to you as long as they're talking just one to one. Watch that same person with another bunch of snakes and see how they all laugh at you. That's how you get to know and grab that character of the person. There you are, exposing yourself. You are naked. These people are all naked, stripped in their soul, because they don't have one. They don't have a soul. That's why these are the background people. And when you talk, it's your show. Because you are the real creator. You're the real one. And your creativity doesn't come from comfort. It comes from chaos. So all these copycats and monkeys out there who want to copy you, they can never ever copy you because they are so weak and coward. The moment they had to face a little bit of discomfort, like even a pinch of what you had to go through, they are going to crumble because their whole house is built on lies. They are the child of lie. Their lives are lies. The problem with being a mirror as who they are is that they do not have the courage to face the adversities. You are strong not because you were given a strong root. You are strong because you had to face the madness of the mad fucking world where you see all these corrupt people are in power, whose whole agenda is to control you, whose whole agenda is to cancel you, whose whole agenda is to ban you. Just because you are yourself. And mind you, nobody is going to be agreeing with you on this and be on your side. People are going to use you as a shield. Because you create a safe space. Because you are the true leader. And that's why people follow you, because you lead. People follow because they don't have their own vision where they're headed at life. Their job is just to keep on following the rules. Rulebook tells them to be mean, selfish, and to hate and spread hate. In that return, I will give you comforts. And they say, yes, yes, I will do that. As if you don't have your own head, you don't see something is wrong, you don't question. Because you were never told to question. And nobody's going to tell you this, that, yeah, be courageous, be nice and this and that. It's your own inner knowing and everybody has that knowing. I'm not strong because my family and my parents told me to be bold and fearless. They never told me any of that. My school, they never taught me that. My engineering college, that never told me to voice out against bullshit. The companies I've worked for, all these top-notch giant companies, SAP Labs, IBM, Infosys, Transport for NSW, Westpac, all the great companies, you name it, I've worked on that. And nobody is going to tell you there that you are being rewarded for being truthful. You are being rewarded for spotting this is wrong. Because the moment you do, you're out. You're out, you're canned. And people think the only way to survive in this world is by licking someone's boots. And that's why you see entire world is a house of liars. And the more you sell your soul, more successful you're going to be and more money you have. But you are a dumb ass donkey because you do not have the courage to be about what truly makes sense. So people take their stance and people make their stakes on you on, okay, are you still that bold? Or did I not break you still? Wasn't my dose of negativity on you enough to have broken your soul? How come you're so strong? We did so many losses to you, we tried to break you, but every attack made you just stronger. Every single thing that was meant to break you just made you sharper, more intelligent, more chiseled, more charismatic. That's why you see people come up all done in front of you. They don't just come out like that when you step out. People want to show their best selves in front of you. Ladies, females, they come out in the best clothes, trying to make them look perfect and awesome because they know what you are. And then laugh at you as if you just raised the standard of the entire fucking place because you are the diamond. Wherever you go, everybody turns up to their best ways because they know that they can't mess with you. Because they know that you are the real king. And about the dramas and the games people play, like coming around you and acting like, oh, I'm like, ha 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 ha. All that is just to hide their own insecurity. All that is just to show how jealous they are of you. Take none of the lies of them for real. You are called to do whatever you are called for. Everybody's life is unique. Everyone's life situation is different. So somebody trying to copy you doesn't make you like them and they cannot be you. It's like if I love Billy Joel and he made that song Zanzibar and I love that, so I sing it. I make a cover of it because I like it, because I love Billy Joel. So what people are trying to do, they see you like a live creative song, live creative dancer, and they want to copy you. That's because they love what you're doing. But they want to show up their hate. Like, bitch, just be honest about it. You love what I do, and you do love me. Like I say, I love Billy Joel because I love his songs. And his songs and Billy Joel are not two different things. I love Buddha and I love the wisdom of Buddha because these are not two different things. You cannot strip apart Buddhahood from Buddha in himself. Body and your creativity are one and the same. But this is how the society has been. While Buddha preached about the Four Noble Truths, and the whole world benefited from that, and so did Christ when he gave his sermons, and whole world benefited from that, from his truth, from his grace, from his love, from his beauty. So people took that all. But when the time came, they killed him at 33 years of age. Where is this justice? And then, though he did resurrect, because he was the child of God, and he was God himself. What do you mean by child? He was himself, the most divine, the most pure. But he resurrected and he came back. And that is to say that the truth and the true energy of dharma never ever dies. No matter how much people come together and laugh like monsters, like demons, and most of the time you'll hear these demons, these ugly ass fucking demons outside, because they can't be by themselves on their own. Misery always loves company. Let me repeat that again. Misery always loves company. And the intelligent intellectual ones, the beautiful souls, you will always find them alone with themselves because they are sitting with truth there. They're not about bullshitting, gossiping, gaslighting, manipulating, talking shit, being jealous of each other like these dumbass motherfuckers. They don't have time for that. You want to see what is it that you can create. And if you could find your allies, you're not about dealing with ugly narcissists. People are so terrified of being with themselves because it feels like dying, like death, that they would rather be with another toxic individual. Because at least poison is there, so I can drink that. I'm so thirsty. And that's how you see these toxic families being formed, not out of love. All of these families are out of fear, jealousy, hatred, ugliness. There's living filth and ugliness in their very existence. Where there's no love, where there's no truth, where there is no genuine connection between people, what else do you expect? And then such people confuse busyness with yeah, look at me, I'm doing great. I'm busy. I wake up at 4 o'clock and I do this and that and I sleep at 3 o'clock in the night. I only get 2 hours of sleep. You're busy creating misery for yourself and for the rest of the world. Just stop your drama. This is the reason why planet is getting destroyed. Because the evil people are always busy trying to create what? Destruction. And they call it productivity. Look at the Sensex. Look at the market where we are. They are just destroying the planet. And no wonder they look so torn, sad, and miserable. And their only laughter is laughing at someone else. That itself shows how miserable you are. People in utter sickness, in complete poor health, they would want to come around you and throw up their negativity and disease to you. Because what you are is what you give. You are ugly, sick, energy vampire with disease. That's all you can give. While we, the chosen, we talk courage, beauty, creativity, and intelligence because that's what we have. And what you are is what you give. The chosen ones are like a rose flower which is just bloomed. You spread fragrance, while these negative narcissists, they spread hatred. If you think doing something can give you joy, go do that. And not in the future, like I'm going to do this and that and then I'm going to be happy. Whatever is that, and even that sense of planning, like this is what I want to do in the next 10 years. This is what I want to create. This is how I want to live. This is how I want to die. Because I'm also reading this another beautiful book of Ikigai, of Japanese wisdom. And that tells about how beautiful communities live happily and they all are so much there for each other. There's so much beauty in it. So these people, they celebrate birthday parties over 90 year olds. And there's one 90-year-old woman who cuts her cake. And these people are so strong and healthy, even at the age of 90, they go to the fields and they do their farming. They eat from their own homegrown fruits and vegetables, and then they share with each other. And they celebrate their birthday parties. They all play cards in the evening. Like a true sense of welfare, not talking gossip, like the society we have. how we have made this world. One person with eyes of distrust looking at other with fear. You don't have to be overthinking all the time. You can be creative. Creative in what? Creative in making a meaningful life. In being just being a human. Can you have you just forgotten how to be a human? Being human, that is so outlandish these days. They look at me like as if I'm an alien just because I'm being a good human. Cowards do that because they are so full of fear. Or they're stealing their eyes from someone. Like, are you a thief or something? They would be keeping their children, little children, uptight and closed. Nobody can speak a word. How come all these families have kids and nobody says a word? That's when you know these are the demons. They are feeding on the energy of that child. And the moment such families come out and they see you in certain restaurant or cafe, they tell their child to scream now. Scream as much as you can. Acting complete barbaric. Because they are keeping their children like a slave at their homes. And when they go out, they use their child like a weapon to spread havoc. And that's how they raise poor children. Mistraining them, not disciplining them, not teaching them the right thing, not teaching them how to behave, how to act. Because they don't care about society. These people are not making babies for society. These people are making babies for their selfish needs. So they could take care of them when they grow old. And this is very sad because you do not truly love your child. The child is never ever going to give you that love back. Don't think a small child doesn't have their own sense. They know very well how the mother and the father treats that baby. They sense every single thing. They have their own sense of intuition because a child under 7 years of age is straight connected to the source. And people think that just because the child is small, I could play around with them. You are taking a big risk. It's not a joke that you can just play with some child's life. You are running your own lives into risk because you wanted to raise an army of people who could say yes to your orders. That control doesn't work for too long, does it? When the child grows to a teenage, he is in a state of complete rebel. He wants his freedom. He wants to express himself. And every time that teenage tries to express himself, he's shut down. And that's the cause of depression amongst youth. Because you do not let them be who they are. You want to control them. You want to make them timid. You may want to control them by fear, by rules. You want to take away their soul. And by the time that same young child, that teenage, who has so much of creativity, so much of power, passion to create something beautiful in the world, you have already taken that. Society has beaten down. So by the time that child turns to 25 or 30, they think it's too dangerous to put myself out there. It's too dangerous because anytime I've tried, they just told me, no, you can't do this. No, no, no. Everywhere there's no. Where is the yes? You don't find people who say, yes, you can do it. You don't find your supporters, do you? But to say no, there are thousands of people who would come and laugh at you, who would say, oh, what are you doing? Or try to control you by fear. Your own father, your own family is the first place where your wings are clipped. And after you have lost your eyes, you have lost your soul, Then they say, now you're a nice son, now you're a nice daughter, now you're a nice citizen, because you don't question, because you don't have your own mind, because you do not challenge the status quo. And because you're blind, here is another blind person waiting for you. And let's make blind family and let's make blind children and call it society, where we keep on eating, consuming, and destroying the planet and making everything mess. And what we breed is hate. And what we tell is lies. And how we live is lies. That's what you guys do. I can make a song on that. And the real ones, you will say you're crazy. The real ones who talk all these things, even Machiavelli, he was hated so much at that time. Nietzsche, we talk about Nietzsche. Oh, Friedrich Nietzsche, he is so great, awesome. But while he was alive, they made sure that he is tagged insane for telling the truth. Nobody is going to be in this with you. Nobody would like you to tell the truth because they feel naked in front of you. They feel exposed. Your very presence itself is a threat to them because they see every single second of their life is nothing but utter nonsense. They thought that eating food in the best of the best places in the world, traveling insanely, and doing this and that in excess is going to keep me happy. Well, now you have lost the taste in your taste buds. You don't feel the taste anymore. But you still go on eating in restaurants and five-star hotels because you have the memory of when you had the taste, you enjoyed that. So let me just go ahead and overeat that 30-course meal. Even though you do not have appetite, you do not have taste in your taste buds, you have no desire, but you're just being run by habits. That's how you're living. And just taking fake pictures and smiling and posting it on social media and calling, wow, I'm so happy with it. Sometimes you just have to keep on going. And sometimes you want to rest. And if you think you have to force yourself into action all the time, 24 hours, all the time, 10 years of your life, you will find you are going to burn out sooner than later. Because in a day, you have only got this much of energy. And truly, the most difficult thing in life is to find a balance between these two, when to act and when to not act, when to just be versus when you to find this fine balance between these two aspects of spirit and matter. Matter is about doing things, it's about the doing aspect. So you can bring something from the unmanifest into manifestation. But while being aware, why are you doing that? This is the most difficult thing. Nobody has an answer to that. You arrive at it through practice. And even if you have done a lot of experiments with your own life in that, you're going to find it's not easy. Like, how could you define something which is so undefinable? This balance between spirit and matter. The balance between your thoughts, which is coming at infinite speed every day. My mind is just bombarded with so many thoughts. I have to do this and that, and I find the funnel of my creativity through which I actually act my two hands, that goes limited. I can make this many songs in a day. But my mind fires ideas at the speed of a rocket while I'm awake, while I'm sleeping. It's just on all the time. And it's too much to carry, you know? So you keep on parking it. This I will give this idea birth tomorrow. And there's just too much potential. So finding this balance between the potential and the kinetic, this is what is the most difficult thing. I was watching video of a great speaker on YouTube, Joey Lott. Check out his channel, Joey Lott. Joylott. What an incredible, profound, enlightened monk, I should say. He lives in States and he talks about this balance between the doing and the acting, between the doing and the being. So the being is the silent aspect, and wherein you don't have to, when you're in a state of being, you're not doing, you're just being. And the doing is when you're actually putting things into action. So you will see that every day you're given this much amount of energy. And while you have consumed all of that, then you automatically come into a state of being. For example, in a 24-hour day, you look at this. There is a lot of energy with yourself in the morning or in the afternoon, and you utilize that. And by the time night arrives, you feel that you want to relax now. And automatically your body goes in a state of relaxation. Unless and until you're not put in a strict, like there's something too urgent for you. Of course, if you've got a flight to catch in the night, then you're not going to sleep because you're going to prepare yourself, and you better be on time at the airport because you don't want to miss your flight. But rest of the days you find that you've got this much of energy and you utilize it. And once that energy pool is over, then you automatically come to a state of rest. The way of being responsible is taking all responsibility, which is also maddening. And everybody watches all these truthful motivational speakers who say, you create your own destiny and you create what you want. Yeah, sure. But it also comes with a lot of hardships. Like all the effort you're trying to put is not going to manifest into fruition. For a scientist who's trying to do some research, not his first experiment would give him some profound revelation. He might have to run some thousands of tests before he could arrive at some conclusion that this is the pattern, this is the formula, and this is how I think it should be working. And even after that, whether it's going to be accepted in the scientific community, you don't know. How it's going to be taken by the others, you don't know. So there's a lot of element of unknown in whatever you do, whether you are a sports person, whether you are a musician, whether you're a farmer, whether you are a tailor, whatever you do. You create something, but you don't know how your customers are going to react. If you open a food chain restaurant and you started making the best food which tastes good to you, and you assume your customers might like this food that I'm making, but you don't know the taste of customers. Some might like it and some may not. Sometimes you might think that people are writing great reviews about your food, and other times people might write very sad reviews. So no point you say I know everything. You just take your chances. You just try and make attempts. And that's what Lord Krishna says in Gita. Your job is to act and not be attached to the end results. So all of this is a lot of internal fight, because listening to Lord Krishna in Gita is very difficult because his actions are demand too much out of you. It's a lot of demand, lot of ask to surrender to the Lord. Surrendering is not easy. Surrendering means the death of you, death of your ego. which comes with physical pain and mental pain. It's a total disruption of who you think you are. That means you are just going on doing the work without getting no results for years. And then many times it seems baseless. Just go on acting without any fruits. Then what is the use of that acting if I don't get anything in the end? But Lord Krishna also says that being born means you have got to act, whether you want or you don't want. Even if you sit and sleep all day and think, I'm not going to act because acting doesn't make any sense, that also is an action. Even if you procrastinate, that is also an action. Even if you sit and you think something, that is also an action. Thinking is an action. And to be without thought is not something you do, it happens. Actually, even having a thought is not something what you do, it comes. You're not conscious, but thoughts, the moment you wake up, you have all these thoughts in your head. Things I have to do, things I haven't done, dreamed I had last night. So strange. How come so many people were there? Somebody I've never met. Strange, but awesome dreams. Where do dreams come from? What is that dream world? I was watching an incredible movie, and I would definitely suggest you should watch that. It's uh, it's a it's a movie in which there is no word, just the hand movements and actions are there of the artist, and it's called as Color of Pomegranate by Sergi. And what a brilliant director! Everything in that movie, not even one word has been said. There's just been music and the images, and every moment is so deep. Every movement of the artist, of how a child is told to raise in a, I don't know, it's like a Turkish kind of a movie. That's how the images are like. A lot of Persian carpets and Persian food, Persian way of living. Very beautiful. So I was very interested in knowing about the life of this director. And he had such a tough, hard life. Because he creates those magnificent movie, he was put in jail. Like you are not allowed to create something like so. So something so exquisite, something so different, something so unique and beautiful at the same time. So he was put in jail just for being so sharp and intellectual. There's a price you have to pay. The the thing that you get with safety is you have to act dumb. As long as you act dumb, you are going to be staying safe. And for being you, for showing up as who you are, like such a great director, his movies were getting banned because a lot of people in the society, they do not want the true raw form of art to come out through the music, through poetry, through speeches. People were killed in history for telling the truth, like Malcolm, like Martin Luther King, like Abraham Lincoln. So wherever there is truth, beauty, intelligence, society has special prime interest in shutting you off because they do not want to see people of sharpness. They don't want to see gems in humans. They're here to trade your soul. And having traded your soul, having stolen your soul, they're going to create something ridiculously cheap like factories and mills and and make mass consumption into normalcy. You're having things which you don't need in your house. And if you go deeper into that, the reason was not you. Reason was because you were forced with all of these advertisements everywhere that you need that thing to keep you happy. You need that stuff. You need this. And you think I was just going on the driveway and I just saw these ads, or somebody else having that, or just that house on the street that had these stuffs, and that was looking nice. Maybe I have that, and that is going to keep me happy. So you keep on buying and having, only to realize that you have so much stuffs now, which surely doesn't add to your happiness. But maybe a cleanup would keep you happy. Space would keep you happy. That's why people like to fly their planes in the open skies, because there's a lot of space out there. And while you see so many cars in the traffic, everybody is so upset with each other. Too many cars. How come everybody is going at the same time and it's all so crowded? So much crowd. While all that you truly want is space, all that you truly want is peace, all that you truly want is something that you love in a real meaningful way. And yes, they won't like you for being yourself. And yeah, there is no safety about you being bold and you being creative and you being intelligent. That is the biggest threat to the masses, first of all. So be it. Be you. Be absolutely yourself. Be yourself, no matter what they say. Be yourself, no matter what they say. No matter what they say and no matter what they do, you must be yourself and you must create. Despite that, or just be you. Why having this burden of creating? When the right time comes, you will create. Because that energy won't let you sit with that creativity. It will force you into that giving birth of that work. That work will be birthed out of you. If not through you, through somebody else. There is some invention which is trying to take birth. Maybe if not through scientist X, it would be born through some scientist Y. But it will be born because creation needs to be created at the right place at the right time. And what are you and me? We are just the vessels. So you need not get jealous of dumb people who are laughing at you because of your intelligence, because of your sharpness, because of the way you think, because of your uniqueness. So just be you. Just be you. And read Lao Tzu. Just be you and read Lao Tzu. Because from that space you get a lot of space. Why I love Lao Tzu is for that, for space in your inner self. You find a lot of space. And what you truly want is space. You don't want compactness. You don't want rigidity. You don't want contraction. You want expansion. That's why you're here. That's why you're born. And you do all this alone. I do everything alone. Because I don't want no compromise from nothing. I don't want nothing to lower my vibe. Nothing. Live absolutely uncompromised and absolutely unapologetically yourself. Be yourself. No matter what they say. Bye. I'll see you the next one. Peace and love. Hari Om Tat Sat.